It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling.
That can only mean one
welcome
thing.
back, you beautiful souls. It is time for the Culinary Hotline Bling. Oh, man, that was one of the most dramatic we've ever had, Armand. Dude, thank you for playing open cards with us. For a man who has had a really complex relationship with complex carbs, and has arrived at what I've just briefly gone through it, and I've been going the keto kind of. I've always been a bit of a protein dude.
Yeah.
You know, when you're training, it's the 3 Ps: protein, protein, and protein. But
Yeah.
okay, but we know that low carb diets they've been popular for decades now. They've also been very controversial. Mr. Tim Noakes, Doc Prof, can tell you all about it. But they have become mainstream, and they've certainly gained acceptance over the past few years, and understandably, not just in terms of weight loss, but for other health reasons as well. So in studio to give us his insights after the journey that he's been on, this low carb journey, is one of South Africa's hottest actors and cookbook authors, Armand Oakam. Can we have another round of applause?
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been, the funniest thing about having you on set this morning has been watching everyone as you walk past going, is he, okay, he's got, but no, but for your benefit, viewers, there's nothing on underneath this apron. He is completely nude, as the cookbook says.
So chilly.
It's such a cool way of approaching food if you're in the limelight. Let's be honest, as a leading man, you get more work if you're in better shape, yeah?
Absolutely, and that's where the whole journey for me started. I remember I was shooting one of the biggest projects for me at the time, Ballade for the Enkling film. Wow. Comes with huge amounts of nostalgia from the 80s.
Pressure, bro.
Yeah, pressure. So we're doing a remake, and the leading character was Gavin van den Berg, and everyone loved him. And I remember the producer, telling me, okay, cool, so in a week we're going to do that topless scene. And I was like, what? And then all of a sudden, you become really focused on what you're eating. And at the same time, as you said, Tim Noakes was quite prevalent in the media.
Yeah.
So I said, please, let this be the thing. And it was the thing.
It looks like it.
That was with good reason. And listen, we know that it's horses for courses. Every single person has a unique body, a unique makeup, a unique system, and this might not necessarily be what works for you, but it's what works for me, it's what works for Armand, and it's what Anel desperately wants to work for her. I'm going to quickly read a line, maybe you can relate
I just want to say that
this.
this is that little monkey emoji on television.
Oh, but it's
But there's still a smile under
yeah,
there. Like,
exactly.
I know.
Because you just
teach me today.
The
Yes.
chocolates.
Yes.
I love this quotation from the introduction of the beautiful book, and it does look amazing, dude. Food has always ruled my life. I used to be like a cow. Constantly grazing. If I didn't eat every 2 to 3 hours, I would become hungry. Hungry and angry. I can relate. So I would carry packets of food around with me, dude. So many people right now are going, "Ain't that the truth?"
It really
true.
ruled my life. It was my mom called me, a caterpillar the whole time. It's graze, graze, graze. And then I wouldn't have much time to think about anything else because I'm like, what lunchbox am I going to do? Where am I going to get my next meal from?
Well, you end up eating the wrong thing because you're kind of reaching for it. I got to the point where people just would bring me like a chocolate bar and said, I'm like, why do I need to eat this? I'm like, just eat it, please, man. Just eat the thing, please.
Exactly.
It's an incredible mindset to adopt, but the big thing, we were discussing it with the mental issues around eating disorders, that food is an emotional thing.
Absolutely.
Completely. See, and we often separate those two. It's all or nothing. So we can eat healthy or we can enjoy our food.
Yeah, and my purpose out of this was born because I wasn't a cook. I'm not a chef. I didn't, I was telling Anel earlier, my go-to thing as a student was a can of Koo curried veg. And
I was going to say, my mouth is not watering right now. It's not watering at all.
Intimidated by food.
I just heard in the studio as well, the people that studied with you, hulle het gesê jy was 'n ouma kop gewees. You had lots of oma rusk.
All the time. Yeah, all
That's
the time.
so funny.
So through this journey, I want to show that it's not complicated and it's easy and it doesn't have to be intimidating.
But we're going to, I don't know why I got put in the carb corner, in the enemy corner, but we've got a lot of amazing ingredients, amazing recipes, and we've got some great news for you guys at home as well. If you want to stand a chance of winning Armand's cookbook, reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook page and share your favorite low-carb meal, snack or tip. All those terms and conditions apply. And if you've got any questions you want to pose to our brilliant panel this morning, our very dramatic panel, because that's the way we're going, because we've got some dramatic recipes, please hit us up. It's going to be, for me, a delicious journey this morning. Awesome to have you here, dude.
So. Thank you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling.
That can only mean one thing.
That can only mean one thing. Welcome back to the Culinary Hotline. Bling, ting, ting, ting. We're joined by cookbook author and fantastic actor Armando Ocambe and, of course, our sweet and beautiful Anel Potgieter talking about low-carb diets. Now, we want you to please pose any questions that you have on our social media pages. We also give you the chance to win one of these cool books. It's nude, and we love it. But get onto our social media platforms for those details. I just have to say, beautiful brooch that you're wearing today.
Thank you. My grandma would have been 130 today, so I
Wow.
thought I'll do that one.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
I love that.
Birthday, Oma.
Ek was uiteindelik op jou gesit.
Very, very, very sweet. So we're going to create new cultures, new traditions in our culinary hotline today because we are going low carb. So I've got to ask, because we all kind of flirt with these things, but we don't know the full kind of explanation. Low carb versus keto versus banting. Can you guys explain to me what the key difference is in these low protein or high protein kind of approaches?
So a low carb is actually just reducing your carb intake between about 50 and 90%, 50 and 80%, and that's about it, and increase your protein a bit. But keto is a bit different.
Yeah, so keto is also a low carb, high fat, not so high in protein necessarily. You want to keep your protein quite moderate, 25% of your total calories. But ketogenic is it's very specific per the individual. So you really want to bring your carbs very low, so that you go into a state of ketosis, is where the word comes from, which means your body metabolizes fat, and the bodies that are then a byproduct are ketones, and then you use that as a primary fuel.
And if you think, if you like how we evolved, we would have been eating. That's why we store fat and burn fat in our body. That's what. So you're kind of getting your body into a primed state to be able to go there. And then with banting, how would that typify? Is that an extension of keto, or?
I think it's kind of the first tier, but you can bant your whole life and never enter that state of ketosis, of active fat metabolism. So yeah, banting, it's just a lower carb.
I need to go in active metabolism.
I think everyone is going in that route. So let's, I'm actually hating the fact, because I love bananas. I love me a little bit of chocolate, but this is always going to be the key barrier, is that we are conditioned to eat a lot of carbs. It's very much, for the last 3,000 years, complex carbohydrates have been a big part of our diets. Stuff that we intentionally have to cook very often. So what are the big carb carriers, if you will?
Bread.
That is a
Anything with
complex
flour.
carb, yeah.
Pasta's got lots of flours in. Some vegetables like potato, sugar, chocolate, sweets.
So yeah, for me it's kind of like the three. It's grain, so any grain derivative, sugars and its derivatives, and high sugar fruits. And I get this question a lot, and this is my opinion, but like, how can this banana not be healthy? I was like, well, this banana is about 3 times larger and sweeter than it was 100 years ago, which was 3 times sweeter than it was 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, no, I've eaten a wild banana that was like this big.
It's crazy. Finger bananas.
It looks like the Arnold Schwarzenegger of bananas over here. So guys, I think it's vital that we inspire people to actually enjoy the high protein meals. And I would desperately like to delve into some of these recipes that are in your beautiful cookbook. So can we start looking at some of the amazing recipes and creations? Okay, so where are we going to start?
Everybody loves potato salad, and we cannot braai
It's
or
a
do
staple.
anything.
It's a staple.
And I want Armand to convince me to use cauliflower, because I've never tasted this. But ek maak hom met aardappels with loads of mayo.
And it's delicious.
Yeah, but help me now.
Okay, so for me, cauliflower is it's a great ingredient. It's got a subtle enough flavor to double up, to really take on the flavors that you add to it. In this case,
that's great.
Nice zingy, or if you do a rice. So we've got some cauliflower heads that we just broke into little florets, and you just lightly blanch them, meaning you just boil them for a minute or two until you've reached the texture of a potato. It's not completely droopy and soft. It's got a bit of a bite.
It still needs a bit of backbone. Cool.
Or you can steam it. So yeah, we've got, I think, about 1 cauliflower head in here. I don't like a sweet potato salad. I know there's a big part of our country that enjoys a sweet one. I like a zingy one with some boiled eggs to up the protein. So I'm going to ask Anel to chop them as you like. We've got them sliced there.
Yeah.
So into the bowl we will add about half or a cup of full-fat Greek yogurt.
Okay.
High in protein, lower in carbs, lots of wonderful
I
natural
must say,
fats.
I've started pushing a lot to full fat all dairy, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really, like with whether it's milk, I think a lot of that's for my son. Like every time a health professional is like, no, don't give them low fat, give them because that's where the nutrition is.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is mayonnaise.
So yeah, I like to substitute half the mayonnaise with yogurt. So I've got half mayo and then another equal amount of mayonnaise and full-fat Greek yogurt. Then, like I said, I love the zingy bit. Chopped gherkins, finely chopped, some raw onion, which I love. You can obviously omit that if you like.
Yeah, no, but this is adding texture as well, which is vitally important.
Raw garlic.
Raw garlic,
Ay,
about
ay,
one
ay,
clove.
ay.
And then the
Pancho.
pièce de résistance is a bit of mustard.
Mustard.
Just to add again to that zinginess. I like a bit of a spicy mustard as well.
Ooh, this
So
is
you
very
really want to,
exciting, yes.
you want to lift this potato salad. You want to, because you're not having that potato, you want to make sure that it's got an incredible amount of flavor.
And the nice thing is because it's not as heavy, you can eat a little bit more of it.
You can.
Which is-
Exactly.
It's good. I know a lot of people are looking for a meat-free variant as well, going that vegan route, but looking
Yeah.
to get the same kind of umami pleasure that
Yes,
you get out
exactly.
of a protein as well. In this kind of state, I love the fact that cauliflower has become a hero. Cauli
Can I add
rice.
some of that?
So you don't necessarily have to add a lot of the
Well,
high
bietjie van
proteins,
daai.
the animal proteins, but
Yeah.
that is awesome, man.
One of my favorite ingredients ever is a lemon. It just lifts everything. Especially when you're cooking with lots of fat. You need a bit of acidity to
Something to cut
break
through
up that
that.
richness. So just a light squeeze of lemon juice.
You check out, you pop the
Easy.
veins there as you're doing it. It's like just a light squeeze and
Can I finish this up? I want to taste now. 'cause
And you
this
finish it
looks
up
about-
with parsley. Once again, also a nice subtle but beautifully fresh herb, especially when you break it or slice it.
An Italian
And
parsley's
look
nice.
at that.
Oh man, if you'd like
Yeah.
to get cooking, obviously you can get the cookbook. Okay, it's a good place to start, but you can also SMS the keyword.
Are you going to try?
Oh, it's dish to 33728. Please, can I try some now, man?
Ah, there we go.
Oh, you've got
Always
that
jumped in
there.
there. Are you going to make this at your next braai? Is it a good enough substitute?
Is definitely a good enough substitute.
And the mustard is
Yeah.
key, man.
Yeah, you got shame. You got a lot of mustard there.
No, but that's delicious. That is really, really, really delicious. And it's got a beautiful texture.
Look at this.
Absolutely amazing.
Woo, well done.
I will flatten a whole ball of that easily.
And
That's
you
like
know
my
you
breakfast.
can.
No, completely.
Guilt-free.
Is it guilt-free? Can I eat the whole bowl?
You can hit the whole bowl.
I'm
Smash
starting
it.
to win you over just a little bit. I'm starting
Well,
to.
doesn't stop smiling.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh when you say that.
Yes.
I have a feeling if she didn't have a man with no clothes on standing beside her selling this, I don't know if it would have the same effect. So the wonderful news is we can help you start this journey yourself, or maybe continue your education. If you want to stand a chance of winning Armand's amazing new cookbook, reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook page and share your favorite low-carb meal, snack, or maybe just even a tip, and all those terms and conditions apply. Can I have some more?
Yeah.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling.
That can only mean one
My
thing.
mouth is still watering. Welcome back to the Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, sing, sing. You might notice a bit of a dance there. The dance in the bands. We're talking low-carb lifestyle, what you can eat when you can't eat, and sharing some fantastic recipe ideas. If you have questions or tips, please post on our social media pages. We'd love to hear from you. It's so funny because often, I mean, we want to enjoy our food, but we're either dieting, we're going to get into shape for a role, and you can't. But you want to be able to eat something that you really enjoy if you're on a diet. So it's about shifting your whole perception, not just going on these crash diets. So we're going to continue creating some amazing recipes. I love chorizo. I absolutely love it.
Chorizo.
Oh, man. So we're still on our umami, our savory tip. And what are we making next, guys?
So we're making an incredibly simple chorizo pasta. Yes, pasta. How does that fit into the whole banting low
snotty,
carb
huh?
thing?
I'm a pasta queen, and I'm
I've
really
heard.
struggling about getting
Soon,
rid of that.
the
So
whole
you're going to
crew-
have to convince
The
me
whole crew's
again.
going to have to take their clothes
Yeah.
off soon. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to convince her.
So pasta, have you ever eaten a bowl of raw, like unflavored pasta? It tastes like nothing.
Yeah, completely.
So so pasta really takes on the
vehicle.
sauce. So let's
Yes.
focus on the sauce
Yeah.
and make it a beautiful sauce.
I love it.
I've seen those zucchini little noodles, and I've seen the red beetroot noodles,
Oh,
and I've
yes,
seen the
the
carrot
spiral.
noodles. Can you eat those as well?
You can totally eat those. Yeah.
Okay.
And stir fries as well. It's awesome. But dude, will the zucchini stick to the roof?
It'll stick to the roof raw. So another simple way is to make these long sort of tagliatelle ribbons. And all you just basically need, so you don't even need an expensive little machine. You just take a good old vegetable peeler and
It's
just
a potato
keep on-
peeler that's
it's-
now
yeah.
feeling redundant because you've stopped using potato. You can take it out of the cupboard and now suddenly it's got a purpose again.
You could do that with a carrot. You could do it with pieces of butternut. So you just carry on and you make these beautiful lints.
So butternut is not starch.
So, so butternut is
Yeah.
a higher carb vegetable. I usually opt for pumpkin if I want that
Okay.
flavor.
Okay.
But butternut is firmer, so it works better for pasta.
Potato chips,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you continue slicing about 4 zucchinis for 2 people. You blanch it really quickly in some hot water for literally 30
Yeah.
seconds or so. But then, the sauce, we're going to...
And it's amazing how the color pops when you...
Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. Chorizo. It's one of my favorite ingredients, as you said. It's just got so much flavor already packed into it. So sliced chorizo, and you just fry it in a pan.
I don't believe you about the flavor thing. I'm just going to
You just gotta
see if it's
taste.
already got a hold of. Oh, don't you dare drop it.
And you fry it so that all the natural fats, all those flavors come out in the oil.
It's like nice and smoky, Ned. It's like a
Yeah.
nice and smoky,
And it's nice because it's quite
pungent
salty as well, so you can kind of get out
Exactly,
away from
yeah.
kind of
thing. That thing.
hammering
Yeah.
So
salt as well.
that's already fried a little bit.
Put some bit oil on it.
Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of oil as this
Yeah.
is fried already.
That
There
is
you go.
Do you want to add my zucchini noodles to your zucchini noodles?
Let's do that.
Oh, they're merging. It's a merger.
Yes, I need to merge.
But it's probably already pretty much done, but let's just give that a second.
Okay.
So the chorizo fries, it's all those beautiful flavors are out. I add
Smell it.
fat starts to
and it's
render
like
through
very
as well.
foreign.
Yeah,
Spanish
like very
chorizo.
foreign, yeah.
Ooh la la.
I like it when you speak foreign to me.
Beautiful cappuccino.
Oh man.
I've added a can of tomatoes.
Yeah.
These cherry tomatoes are really lovely. If you want. If you don't like chorizo, if it's a bit spicy for you, you can swap it out for some diced bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a vegetarian.
Just rock a Vienna in there. Vienna's also foreign, hey?
Nice meaty mushrooms also be nice.
Exactly, a nice meaty mushroom.
Yeah.
Because you're getting the kind of the meatiness from it. So,
Yeah.
and that's a chance for you to kind of get creative. This is
What is
a
that?
launch pad to get creative.
Yeah, so I've added a bit of balsamic vinegar just to break the acidity of the tomato. You need a bit of sweetness.
Sweetness, yes.
If you don't like balsamic vinegar, I'm also going to add a little bit of garlic.
Always garlic, like
Always
in
garlic.
Parmigiano.
Dig your garlic,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love it.
It does. It punches way above its weight class in flavor.
Oh,
so
man.
it is a very good additive.
So if you don't like balsamic vinegar, you can use a splash of red wine. You can use a nice red grape vinegar.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't like vinegar at all, just a little bit of sweetener, xylitol, just to break that
Something
acidity.
just
yeah.
to balance it out. Okay.
So you just let that fry and reduce slightly. And our sauce is
it
pretty
looks divine.
It's smelling, ooh,
So while that
smelling beautiful.
reduces a little bit. I'm going to take out the
pasta.
blanched pasta. Now you can just add this directly into your sauce if you want, but I think it looks a little bit prettier because you get that beautiful green for serving.
Thing is, you've
You're gonna
got
mix it
this
anyway.
contrast of colours.
The Italians
Use it.
throw it straight into
Straight
the pan.
in, yeah. I normally do as well.
But that's because
But it
pasta
is.
is so boring that you've got to put it in the sauce to kind of liven it up. But the zucchini is so exciting that it can stand on its own.
There we go.
And it's a great way when you mix it through to make sure that all the flavors are combined.
Look at
And you
his
get
chefing
maximum.
skills.
I know. But you got to be careful. You are aware that you're not wearing any clothes. Eh? So if you're throwing hot food around, man, you
Some cover.
Yeah,
I'm rubbing it off. Give me the way class.
Oh, she's just waiting for the dessert, buddy. Oh, she's just waiting for the dessert.
Well, there we go. A beautiful bowl of super simple chorizo pasta.
lovely.
Just to finish off with those beautiful Italian flavors. Fresh basil is probably my favorite herb in existence.
And the nice thing is, if you've got basil in your fridge, I've been doing that a lot. It's like with herbs, you use your initial lot, and then you've got some left in the fridge, and that then also gets left behind.
Yeah.
Put it in some cold water, put it back in the fridge, and it rejuvenates. It's absolutely amazing. But I like this. It's got cooked, it's got fresh, it's got crunch, it's got flavor combinations. Just about every flavor profile is in there.
And no pasta.
And no pasta. So if you really want to be decadent, Parmesan shavings.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Do it, man.
Let's see if you can
You
bring
can even throw in a
ricotta.
dollop of high-fat cream in there if you were really excited. And the key word here, ironically, is pasta. Give it to me, sister. Come on.
Verdict.
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 Right, it's awful, guys. No, don't bother. It's awful, man.
come on, give
no,
it
you're
to
not
me.
going to like it at all. It's awful.
I am.
Seymour.
Wow.
Yeah? And what? That took
Yeah.
2.5 minutes.
I want a dish, yeah.
And I'm
When the
getting the
camera's
garlic
on the rolling.
just like a mama made it. Absolutely beautiful. So you've got one, now
Wow.
2 reasons to get your hands on this gorgeous nude cookbook. You too can stand in absolutely nothing and cook in the kitchen. You can stand a chance of winning our month's amazing cookbook we are discovering right now. To reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook page, share your favorite low-carb meal, snack or tip is going to earn you entrance into our competition, and all the terms and conditions apply. Can I have another taste, please? Come on, man. Why have we only got
come
one
on.
spoon here? This is actually
Sharing is caring.
this is like
It's all
punishment,
naked
man. It's
scene.
punishment.
I love the chorizo. Yum,
It kind of
yum,
sells
yum.
itself, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, here's some more.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling.
That can only mean
Oh
one
man,
thing.
alive. It's been a taste journey, a taste explosion. Welcome back to the Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, sing, sing. Oh, we are in the kitchen with a whole lot of nudity, ready? Nude cooking, nude cooks, nude actors.
Nude
Armand and soon these bowls are going to be nude with nothing in them because I've been sneaking a little taste.
I see you.
Guys, thank you so much. This has been such an enjoyable experience for me. It's kind of validating the way that I like to and want to eat. So hopefully we are winning you over,
Yes.
sister. I'm sorry, but surely delicious stuff. But I think maybe it's a good idea to paint a picture of what we are allowed to eat. We're kind of very focused on what isn't allowed, but there are some delicious, amazing staples, things that you probably are eating all the day that you just now, every day, can eat a little bit more of. So what are some of the main things that you can focus on?
The main thing is like meat, like pork, chicken, and beef. That's a big thing. Protein, eh? And then we got
Protein,
egg.
but with the fat. So if you're having, I was one of those people who would,
Rub
yes, or I would cut off the piece of fat from a
No,
choppy.
don't do that.
leave it as is. You know, eggs with yolk or
Yeah, yeah.
meat with the fat, with the skin.
And then fish, seafood as well. Eh? That
lovely.
is a big
Fatty
thing.
salmon,
Oh,
fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
lekker, yeah.
This is the South African diet, pretty much. This is the South African
And then
diet.
cream, butter.
Yeah, all full fat dairy, as you said before. That's where the nutrition lies. That's where the energy lies. So if you're going to go low carb and low fat, you're going to feel miserable. You're going to have no energy. So when you take the carbs away, you have to up the fat to fuel you. So you can't, low carb and low fats, not going to work.
And then flour replacements, you can use gluten-free flours like almond flour.
Yeah,
and
almond flour is massive, yeah.
and coconut
Yeah.
flour. And that also adds that little bit of extra flavor to it, yeah.
And there's textures. You can start exploring a whole new way of eating. That's the basic truth here, is that you can make an adjustment that is going to be beneficial to your health. But the weight loss component is massive, and it's something that I have had to use in my career, and it's something you've proven, dude, in your career. But all of this falls horribly flat if we don't have a delicious dessert.
Absolutely.
Something that rewards all of our hard work and our
you
creativity. Dude, chocolate orange has got to be one of my favorite flavor combination profiles in all this beautiful world
I
of
think
ours.
it's the original combo, chocolate and orange.
I love it. And now you're getting quite zhuzh. So we've had our fancy fun main meal over here. So what are you going to be making for our dessert, dude?
So, yes, we're making a chocolate and orange mousse, chocolate mousse, dark chocolate. So I've got 100 grams of 90% lint, and I can hear everyone going, oh yeah, 90.
But if I like the 60%, no, I must go 70, 90. Huh?
You can, I mean, it's about. Now.
This is not a negotiation here. We're not.
Look, we are sweetening it.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
love the deep richness of dark chocolate.
Because there's a lot of other creaminess going on here. There's sweetness going on.
Absolutely. So, so try and stick to the darker chocolate.
Okay.
Whatever isn't the percentage is sugar. So if you've got a 90% dark,
The
it's
rest
10%
is
sugar.
I didn't know
wow,
that.
I did not know.
Yeah. So if you've got 70% dark, 30% is sugar.
sugar.
Oh, so
and-
my 60% has got 40% sugar.
sugar.
That's
Yeah.
bad.
And
So
normal
then you
milk
just
chocolate.
don't add any of that.
And normal milk chocolate is about 40% cocoa, 60% sugar. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And the funny thing is, that's to kind of just placate our palates, which have become so used to having massive amounts of
Exactly,
sugar, massive amounts of salt. So the key word here is dessert, because it really is a dessert
Treat, yeah.
and a treat. So you can SMS that to 33728. Okay, so
some milk?
we've added our...
Yeah, so with the melted chocolate, I just added 2 tablespoons of full-fat cream cheese and a tablespoon of butter. Then we've got some beautiful full-fat clover milk, 30 milliliters, that goes in there as well. And what I love about this is it tastes so decadent. But the process isn't decadent. You can just mix and
This is really cool dinner party stuff. Like I
Use
think.
those apps, Armand. Use those apps.
Come on, man. He hasn't stopped flexing this entire set. I don't know what you're talking about, man. He's about to pass out. He's like, you know what I really like about this is I love cooking for people. I love cooking for my family.
Yeah.
I think my gorgeous girl absolutely abuses the fact that I love cooking so much. But I'm a terrible side seat driver in the kitchen, so I'm always there, like looking over her shoulder. I just enjoy the creative process. But I hate the fact that when you're cooking, you're not sitting socializing. So for a dinner party, these meals that we have put together, this has taken us probably about 15 minutes to do this entire spread and talk a lot of nonsense in between as well. So, and that's what cooking is for me. It's socializing, it's
social
emotional connections.
It's the heart of the home is in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Completely.
So what now?
So Anel is busy whipping a cup of cream for us. So as soon as it's nice, it's forming nice peaks.
If you want, jy kan nog 'n bietjie hoor.
Okay,
Want
well,
net jou apps
I will
sien.
do that while I whip and show half an ab.
App, ja.
Whip it, dude.
The
Come on.
last ingredient is some orange essence that is you can get it at most retailers.
Where
as
do you
well
put this in?
into the chocolate,
Into the chocolate?
as well as the zest.
Honestly, I want to eat a bowl of that.
Okay, am I
Kom,
doing this right?
Armand, yes,
Do it,
yes.
buddy.
Flex them. Show it to the people.
Until we get veins popping on the neck, you're not trying hard enough.
Okay, and then, it smells divine. Chocolate, orange. Must I add this?
But now,
Yeah.
You just throw it in there.
This is the amazing thing, is because normally in cooking you'd be so careful of what you're adding to what and how. And
know.
this, I mean, your soft peak suddenly turns into a beautiful chocolate milkshake.
It does, and
Look at that.
don't know.
Is that going to set?
It does set.
Wow.
And
Look at that.
And we have I've
looks so
had people
runny.
make this as well.
Guys, the proof is in the pudding. All right.
So my favorite thing to do is in this part of the recipe,
Drink it.
with a straw.
Just all of it.
It's just to sift another tablespoon or two of raw cacao, and then it's deeply decadent and dark. But I know that people want that sweetness.
It can be quite a strong thing, but this it also helps to kind of
that's it.
train your palate to crave sugar a little bit less and enjoy more flavour as opposed to just bam,
Just
a punch
giving
of
me
sweetness.
an idea, just with a little straw.
I would honestly, no, you want to eat it with a teaspoon so it takes longer so you can just really enjoy it. And then,
So let's try it.
Yeah,
It's refrigerated.
how long do you have to set it for? What's the kind of final part of the process?
It's about half an hour, and I think it's because it's got to do with the cream cheese and the butter and all those elements.
set.
Set.
Once it
Nice.
chills,
Nice.
it really sets.
Wow.
That is
So-
yours. I've got to say, I don't know, Anel, maybe you can answer this. When you do this to a piece of orange, what is that
Yes.
called? I want to say desiccate.
It's dehydrated.
Desiccate sounds so much more
Yeah.
And how would one
dramatic.
do
but-
that? Because this is really pretty. I've
You
never.
can even do it in the oven, or you can just put it outside in the sun.
Okay.
And just, okay, let's try,
Just like
guys.
leaving your pasta on the washing line.
Yeah,
We are not leaving our food outside, Anel. We're not doing it. Okay.
let's do
So
it.
the key word here is dessert to 33728. And you too can create this
Oh, my word.
masterpiece.
And look, it's really set. I mean, and it's it's rich.
This is like the best chocolate that I was able to buy in like Harrods or overseas somewhere in a
glass.
mousse, in a glass.
Well, I think I need to
Soft and
start.
With dehydrated orange. Have we converted you?
Oh, he has
No,
converted
be
me.
honest.
He
Be
has
honest.
converted me.
Bang your spoon on the table
Are you
3
going to
times
get all
and
those
go,
chocolates
He
and
has
things under
converted
your
me.
bed, and are you going to throw them away?
I'm not going to throw those away. I have to.
Yeah, like just the cookies and biscuits. There are better ways, and like
buddy,
you said,
this is delicious, dude.
thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
The weight loss is one thing, but the way you feel, the sustained energy. I no longer graze. I'm no longer a cow. I eat maybe twice a day.
Now you're a bull. I love it. Oh, guys, this has been such a wonderful start to a wonderful journey for you that can continue with your very own copy of this gorgeous cookbook. Nude is available at all good stores, but you can win one right now by replying to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook page. Share your favorite low-carb meal, snack, or even a tip to inspire us. All those terms and conditions do apply. An insightful and a fascinating culinary hotline. Thank you so much to everybody who participated. Nicole, our kitchen fairy, as I call her, has been absolutely superb, helping us put together these amazing meals. I love you guys.
I love you, dude.
I love you, love you, love you, love you.